Greetings citizens and welcome back to the verse. Today we will gear up at Seraphim Station, before completing a contract in Pyro using our starter ship. Links as always will be in the description. Leave a comment, like and subscribe to keep up to date on my mappings. Pause the video to take screenshots. Check back regularly to download the latest version of my mappings. Okay, let's get started. We are already at Seraphim Station. Right stick to look around. Left stick to move. Tap your right bumper to exit the room. Holding the upper right paddle and tapping your menu button will turn the global chat on and off. Push your left thumb stick in to make your player run. Enter the elevator with your right bumper. Access the elevator panel by holding your right bumper. Left trigger to zoom in. Use your right stick to highlight lobby, then press A to confirm. Before gearing up, I will need to file a claim for my ship. Unfortunately, my last flight I hit an asteroid and exploded. I will make my way to the hangars and access the ASOP terminals. We can access any terminal in the verse by tapping our right bumper. My ship will be ready by the time we have finished gearing up. Depending on the size of your ship will determine the cost and the amount of time it will take. For larger ships you may want to pay the expedited fee. Okay, let's make our way to the elevators. First we need to visit the cargo center. Let's select that level and head on up. You will find most stations around the verse have similar layouts. Though if you fly mining ships, you will need to find a station with a refinery. Let's make our way around to the terminals. Access like normal with your right bumper. I have mapped buttons for using menus to the controller, though using your mouse will be easier.
You're right.
Navigate the drop-down menu and find the personal weapons. We will need to buy one of the multi-tools. One is pistol size while the other is a rifle. Select the one you like.
Everything good?
Next we will need the tractor attachment. Purchase the one that fits your multi-tool you now own. To log out of any terminal in the verse, simply push down on your left thumbstick to move away from the terminal. Before leaving the cargo center, we will have a quick look at the ship rentals here. Like Usiing, you can rent a ship from the terminals, though their selection may vary. This is a good way to play different game loops before purchasing a new ship. You can purchase any ship in-game using the in-game currency at any time, though you will need to check what showrooms has the ship you'd like to buy. You can find the showrooms at New Deals on Hurston, Astro Armada on Arc Corp, and the Crusader showroom on Crusader. Let's log out and head back to the elevators.
Everything good?
Remember, elevators around the verse act as the loading screens. Never run in or out, as the area may not have loaded and you will find yourself floating around in space. Enter like normal with your right bumper. Left trigger to zoom in, and let's head down to the Galleria. If the level hasn't loaded when the doors open, just let them close and reopen the doors. The level should have loaded for you. Before gearing up, we will take a quick look around the Galleria level. Let's head upstairs. Here you will find the terminal to pay any outstanding fines. A crime status of 3 and you will no longer be able to land at most areas in Stanton. and a bounty will be placed on your player for everyone on the server. You will either need to pay your fine or alternately serve time at Klesher Rehabilitation Facility. Here you will also find the commodities terminal. You can either buy or sell your cargo from around the verse. Keep in mind, if you are hauling illegal or stolen cargo, you will need to sell at places like Grim Hex. Let's head back downstairs. The first shop sells weapon upgrades for your ship. Weapons like your ship components come in different sizes. Be sure to check what size you need before purchasing. You will find a basic weapons shop. Better weapons such as sniper rifles, grenade launchers and railguns can be found within the verse, either from looting or completing contracts. Moving around, you'll find a clothing store if you want your player to wear something besides your flight suit. Finally, we have the armor shop. You can buy directly off the mannequin or by logging into the terminals. Let's log into the terminal and buy what we need. Navigate the drop-down menus through each category. Armor comes in 3 sizes: light, medium, and heavy. Like most games, armor will be different in each shop throughout the verse, with some of the best armor needing to be looted from bunkers or outposts. Alternately, you can sell any armor you find within the verse that you no longer need or want. If you are watching this after patch 4.1, item recovery will be available. If you die within the verse, your imprint will respawn with whatever gear you were wearing at the time. Though any items in your backpack will be lost, you will need to venture back out and retrieve them at the place you died. When purchasing a backpack, you will need to have heavy armor equipped to carry a heavy backpack. Don't forget to purchase an undersuit. You can purchase a basic weapon here at the armor shop, or head back to the weapons store. Be sure to buy the attachments and some ammunition. If you are unsure of what attachments will fit your weapon, refer to its description. You can also search by item name to see all the accessories that will fit your weapon. Okay, let's log out and head back to the hangar level. One last place to visit. Head past the hangars and around to the right to the clinic. Make your way to the pharmacy and log into the terminal. We will need to purchase some med pens. This will be enough to keep us out of trouble and make it back to the clinic should anything go bad for us in our travels. Now we have everything we need for a basic kit. Let's add the gear to our player. We will need to log into the local inventory. You can access your personal inventory for your player anytime by pressing the back button on your controller. And rotate around your player using your controller sticks. Let's log into the local inventory by tapping the right bumper. Use the mouse to navigate through the categories. You can either drag out the items onto your player, or double-click them and they will be automatically assigned. When dragging the item over your player, you will see the item's snap point. Drag out your weapon and its attachment. Place the med pens into your slots. Depending on your armor, you may have more slots than my player. Items can be stacked in the inventory. Or split if you decide you just want to carry a couple of extras in your backpack or armor pockets. Don't forget your multi-tool and the tractor attachment. That will do for now. Holding your controller's back button will wipe your visor. And pushing in your right thumbstick to remove your player's helmet. Push it again to place it back on. Double tap the left bumper to turn your torch on and off. Press A to jump, B to crouch, and double tapping B to go prone. B again to stand. Let's retrieve our ship and head on out.
Vehicle retrieval system. Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location.
Find the elevators and make your way to your hangar. This is our own instanced hangar. Before boarding our ship, let's see how to use our items we purchased. Left on the D-pad to draw our primary weapon. Left trigger to aim down sights. Right to fire. Tapping your lower paddles and your player will lean in that direction. Tapping X to reload. Up on the D-pad for your med pen. Right trigger to use. Right on the D-pad for melee combat. Left and right triggers to punch and holding both together to block. Down on the D-pad for your multi-tool. Right trigger for detachment mode. We can holster them at any time by holding X. I will quickly log into the local inventory to grab some magazines for my weapon. This inventory is local only to this area. Once your player has left the station, you will no longer have access to anything you left behind until you return. Keep this in mind when looting items from around the verse. You will either need to place them into your backpack or into your ship's inventory before leaving the area. The Drake Cutter is a nice starter ship. It has enough of the basics to get you up and running in the verse. I won't lie, I almost melted this ship down, but decided to hang on to it since patch 4.1 and the introduction of the Atlas Geo. I will use this basic starter ship as a small mining vessel. I will keep you posted on how that goes. I have my ship's labels turned off. You can access the menu by tapping the controller's menu button. In Options, then Game Settings, you can find where to turn them on and off. Find the panel to board your ship. It's always wise to close your doors. Though no one can enter our instanced hangar, other players can board our ship when either planet-side or when looting items from wrecks in space. Any of your ship's components can be accessed and upgraded. This will become more important once the engineering gameplay is added later this year. Some ships will come equipped with a living area. Some may have armor storage and gun racks. And also a bed allowing players to log in and out of their ship. All ships will have an inventory, though if your ship is destroyed, anything stored on the ship at the time will be lost. Let's enter the pilot seat by tapping right bumper. Your controller will automatically switch to the main flight layer. You can open your menu, then Graphics, and adjust your FOV slider to suit your play style. Let's turn the global chat off for now by holding the upper right paddle and tapping the menu button. Pressing left on the D-pad to power up our ship. Up for thrusters and right for shields. Holding your right bumper will let you interact with your MFDs. Left trigger to zoom in. A to select. I prefer using the legacy HUDs. You can change them here or in your game setting via the Options menu. Double tapping Y to change camera. Double tap again for cockpit. Pushing in your right stick to call ATC and request departure. Lower left paddle to rotate your VTOL engines. Holding left bumper with your left stick will strafe in that direction. Lower left paddle to exit VTOL mode. Left stick to thrust forward or backward. Left and right will turn in that direction. Tapping X to raise your landing gear. Right stick for pitch and roll. Holding A to decrease your speed limiter and holding Y will increase it. Tapping B to turn coupled mode on and off. Your back button to engage cruise control. Ensure coupled mode is on before enabling cruise control. Push in your left stick to fire your afterburners. Holding left bumper will engage your space brakes. Holding upper left paddle and B together will exit your pilot seat. Right bumper to enter again. Right trigger for Group 1 weapons. Left trigger for Group 2. Xbox button to open your Mobi glass. You can use the mouse or your controller to select your star map. Or using upper left paddle and the Xbox button will take you directly to your star map. Zoom out using your scroll wheel on the mouse. Select the Pyro gateway and set route. Close the map by tapping the Xbox button. You will now notice a single quantum marker. Tap your lower right paddle to spool up your quantum drive. Keep in mind when your quantum drive is active, you will no longer have shields. Let's align the ship with our quantum marker and wait for the drive to calibrate. Once calibrated, hold your lower right paddle to engage the quantum drive and make the jump. You may encounter some players in the verse who own interdiction ships. They can pull you out of quantum along regular routes. Keep this in mind when hauling valuable items. Keep an eye on your quantum fuel. You can drop out of quantum anytime by holding your lower right paddle. If you need to reroute to a space station to refuel. We have arrived at the Pyro gateway. Holding B to send out a ping. Ahead we can see the gateway to enter the Pyro system. We will head towards that. We will need to remain in quantum mode to enter the gate. If your HUDs are not appearing correctly, double tap Y to change camera. Then double tap again to return to cockpit view. Hopefully this will fix it for you. If at any time you decide to upgrade your quantum drive, you will need to purchase and install a new jump drive. You can purchase a new jump drive either here at the Pyro gateway or in Pyro at the Stanton gateway. Just be sure to install it via the Vehicles tab in your Mobi glass before leaving the station. Adjust your speed by holding either A or Y on your controller, increasing or decreasing your speed limiter as you approach the gate. At times you will see other players either waiting to enter or exiting the gate. Don't worry though, no one can fire weapons in this area. Right now we can see the gate is closed. We will need to fly in closer to tune our jump drive to the gate. This will begin automatically for us once we are within range. Once it's tuned, holding both of our lower paddles together we can open the gate. And here we go. Unlike quantum travel, you will need to steer your ship through the gate. You will hear an alarm sound if your ship collides with anything inside the gate. If you take too much damage while passing through, your ship will be ejected, and you will need to fly back to the gateway to try again. If you're in a larger ship, you may find it easier to change camera and fly through in third-person mode. At times you may see the slipstreams that will show you the path to take through the gate, helping new players. Once the color changes, you will know you're at least halfway through the gate. We made it. Welcome to Pyro. Unlike Stanton, you will find Pyro is pretty lawless with a lot of PvP activities. We'll send out a ping by holding B to see if there are any nearby players in the area. We will complete a quick cargo contract here so we can start earning credits. Open the star map with the upper left paddle and the Xbox button. Select the Stanton gateway and set route. Close again with the Xbox button. We will be too close to make a jump, but at times it can be hard to see amongst all the debris. Exit quantum mode by tapping your lower right paddle. This will start charging our shields for us. Push in your left stick for a quick boost from your afterburners. At the moment, the Pyro solar flares have been disabled. Once they come back online, you will need to take care when traveling across the system. A solar flare will disable your ship or kill your player if you don't find cover. Keep an eye on the patch notes so you know when they have been enabled again. Remember, white markers are other player ships. In Pyro, you can be fired upon at any time. Push in your right thumbstick to call ATC and request a hangar. Holding left bumper at any time to engage your space brakes. Holding your left bumper along with your left thumbstick to strafe up or down as needed. Double tapping left bumper to turn your ship's external lights on. Tapping X to lower your landing gear.
Landing gear down.
Before landing on the pad, let's turn our ship to make it easier to load our cargo. Double tap Y to change camera. Hold your left bumper, then left and right on the left thumbstick to strafe. Hold both your lower paddles together to initiate automatic landing. Power down the ship with left on the D-pad. Open your Mobi glass with the Xbox button and select landing. Here we can repair, rearm and refuel. You will find Pyro is a lot bigger than the Stanton system, so you will need to keep an eye on your quantum fuel. While in Pyro, if you are not aligned with the controlling faction of that area, you won't be able to land to repair and refuel. Keep this in mind when traveling through the system. Close your Mobi glass with the Xbox button and hold the upper left paddle and B to exit your seat. Again, we are in our own instanced hangar. Your Xbox button again for your Mobi glass and select contracts. Contracts are on a timer and will continually be refreshed. You can choose from either verified or non-verified. Depending on your ship and your play style, choose the contract you like. Some contracts can be completed with your ship, whilst others will need to be completed on foot. Right now the Fight for Pyro event is running, so I will take a quick cargo contract from the offers. Keep in mind the Drake cutter has an SCU grid of 4, though you can stack more into the ship. We will accept one that doesn't exceed our allotted grid. Close your Mobi glass with the Xbox button and you will now see the objective marker. We will need to access the freight elevator to collect our cargo. Lower the elevator and move the cargo from storage onto the elevator. We will need to use our tractor beam to move the boxes onto our ship. Down on the D-pad to draw our multi-tool. Right trigger for detachment mode. Keep it held to move the boxes into your ship. A ghost of the box will appear when you're over a snap point. Letting go of your trigger will snap the box to your grid. When you tractor an SCU box, you will be informed of its contents. This will be useful when looting abandoned ships out in the verse, as you can decide what boxes are worth more credits than others. Once loaded, hold X to stow your multi-tool. And let's head on out. Open your star map and set your route to the drop-off point. It's another space station. Obituary Station is home to a lot of PvP and extraction gameplay. Looking at our route, we can see there will be 3 waypoints. Power up the ship with left on the D-pad and up for thrusters.
You are clear to launch.
Launch.
Right stick in to request departure. X button to raise our landing gear,
Thank
then
you.
tapping lower
Okay,
right paddle to spool our quantum drive.
Landing gear up.
Head towards our marker and wait for the drive to calibrate. Hold lower right paddle to engage the drive. Okay, what's a session of Star Citizen without encountering a quantum error? And we were doing so well. If this happens, try realigning your ship back to the quantum marker. If that didn't fix the error, open your star map and set a new route. There we go. Now we can hold our lower right paddle to make the jump. Okay, another quantum glitch. We have all the quantum markers showing. We are still heading in the right direction, so let's leave it for now and hopefully we arrive safely. Okay, good. We have arrived at our first marker, the planet Bloom. Unfortunately, Obituary Station is on the other side of the planet, and we have all the quantum markers showing. I will try to find a marker labeled OM. Markers labeled OM are orbital markers. They will allow us short jumps around a planet without the need to jump too far away if our objective marker is blocked. Though I can't find one in all the clutter. I will just open my star map and set a new route. Hopefully you made it without too many errors or issues. Tap lower right paddle to turn off the quantum drive and enable our shields. We'll hold B to send out a ping and see who is in the area. Some of the stations in Pyro have contested zones, so there may be times you encounter small teams of players. Though landing at a station is a lot safer than planetside with the murder hobos. If you do get downed by either a hobo or an NPC, you can open your contracts manager and send out a beacon. Everyone on the server will be notified and someone may fly through and pick you up, for a small fee of course. Call ATC like normal by pushing in your right stick.
Landing gear down.
Double tap left bumper for your ship's lights. Double tap Y to change camera. Again, we will try to line our cutter up with the freight elevator. Holding your upper left paddle and the left bumper at the same time will put us into free look mode. Use your right stick to rotate the camera around your ship. With upper left paddle, push in your right thumb stick to open your doors. This is fine in our instanced hangar, though be careful when doing this planet side as you may get boarded. Again, we will open our Moby glass and go to landing to refuel our ship. Let's power down and complete the contract. Double tap the left bumper to turn your torch on if, like me, you find the hangar a little too dark to see. The elevator should be in its raised position. I always check as sometimes, especially planet side, it's in its lowered position. Draw our multi-tool with down on the D-pad. This time hold your upper left bumper and tap the left trigger to fire the tractor. Using up and down on your D-pad while the paddle is held, we can pull the box to us and push it away onto the elevator. Once we have grabbed the box with the tractor, you can let go of your upper left paddle to move your player. The tractor will remain on. Tap your left trigger again to turn the tractor off once the box is over the grid. If you need to rotate the box, hold your lower right paddle while still holding your upper left. Now with the right stick you will be able to rotate the box in any direction. Stow our multi-tool and let's access the elevator again. Lower the boxes to complete this contract. Nice. We have completed the contract here in Pyro and made a nice sum of money. You can either log out here or accept another contract. If you decide to log out here, store your ship, and when you next return to the verse, your player will wake up on this station.
Goodbye.
I will leave you here for now, citizen. Thanks for watching. See you in the verse.